I can report you for the offence, for the question of prosecution to be considered, that you don't have an operator's ID.
But what would be your reasonable position? What would you present to the CPS of your decision to pass it on to them? What would you present?
To pass on to them is that you failed to produce one.
Right, okay.
Okay.
But I don't have to.
You failed to give me any means to verify whether you have one.
But that's not enough for reasonable grounds. That's just me asserting my human right, Article 8. That's all it is. That's not enough to assert reasonable grounds, Inspector.
Article 8 only applies, right? It can be infringed when you're committing an offence.
But you would have to have reason. But you cannot use my standing up for Article 8 and my refusal to give you my details as grounds.
Which I'm not doing.
No, but if you were asking for my operator's ID, to check my operator's ID, you would also need my name.
Because I'm not asking you, because I have no power to require you. Okay? So we're going around in a bit of a circle.
No, because you're not making sense,
No,
Inspector.
I am making perfect
really
sense. Well, I'm
not.
making perfect sense to myself.
Well, then you need to go back to verbal reasoning.
What we're doing is we're going around in houses. You are exercising your rights. You are allowed to fly a drone. Absolutely allowed to fly a drone.
Mm-hmm.
If it has a camper, you must have an operator ID.
Yep.
If you don't have an operator ID, you commit an offence. Okay?
Correct.
Period.
Correct.
Okay?
Your reasonable suspicion is where it's getting messy.
I understand what you are saying.
Yeah.
Well, you can't use the fact that I am declining to produce something I don't have to produce to you as your reasonable grounds to suspect. I absolutely understand that.
Yeah.
Totally understand that.
So if I take it back up and that's still your grounds.
And I 100% respect your rights to a private life without intrusion from the state.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate them. Okay, I don't want to be stopped and interfered with by the police.
Exactly.
Okay, so I totally understand that. However, there will be circumstances where if you are recording potentially confidential information...
If it's confidential information, it should not be visible.
Potentially, it's only visible if you're flying a drone over the back of a police station.
Still, no, not really.
Okay.
But it's a legal activity, so you still need to make sure. You know drones are a thing. You know there are YouTubers that do come and do this, so you need to take those steps to make sure that those areas are not containing.
There could be somebody who is working at a desk with information in front of them, and you fly over the thing and you film it. Okay.
I'm not looking in your windows.
Yeah, but no. Well, how do I know that?
Well, you don't. But even if I was,
because I don't know you from Adam, sir.
No, you don't.
Okay?
But then get
so
tinted windows.
I don't know that whatsoever.
Get tinted windows, or what do you call them, frosted glass and things like that.
But we don't need to have that because
well,
there's a right to
Okay, I'm sorry.
privacy.
Is that part of your building or is that a house?
That's a house.
Okay. Or is it say whoever stood at that top window? Okay, somebody stood at that top window up there, right? And they had a telescope or binoculars, ultra zoom DSLR lens, whatever. They could do exactly the same thing. So actually, depending on where your windows are and depending on what your surroundings are, you should have frosted glass and you should be taking that data protection more seriously.
You're probably quite correct. In fact, somebody stood there.
Yeah.
Can actually do that.
Yeah.
Okay. But you must also remember data protection applies to data that can identify a person.
It's the obligation of yourself to make sure that's secure.
There might not be any information which can identify a person.
Yeah. So then your argument about the drone is invalid then, isn't it?
No, it's not.
It's either that situation which is the same as my drone or it's not.
You raised this point earlier yourself about your right under the GDPR about the body camera. Okay, you're not identifiable on that body camera because you're not giving any details.
No, but my face is enough. Yeah, my face is enough to identify me as a living individual, which is what counts as personal and private data under GDPR.
You're only identifiable if someone recognises that image, which won't be shared with anybody because it's on a secure server.
Okay.
Okay. So, and if you were to make a request about information held about you, that information would not be retrievable because we wouldn't be able to search for an image of you on our system.
Well, you can because I've made subject matter actual and got body cam footage myself without giving details at the time as well, so I can
possibly about the time and place. Okay, if you give time and location, okay, then that's fine. You give time and location, then yes, the information would be retrievable.
Yeah.
But if you just said, I'm actually Adam Smith and I want video footage that you've got of me, we wouldn't be able to give it to you because the system doesn't allow us to do that.
You got to give other circumstances, absolutely.
But there are always circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay?
But I still don't get what you're getting with the GDPR and the drone because, like I said, if it's visible from the drone, it's visible from that window, and that responsibility is on you to make that secure.
My concern being is, if you fly a drone over the back of a police station and you fly a drone looking into the windows of a police station, what operational or what purpose might you be doing that for?
Again, and that's
now you can have a hobby.
Yeah.
But there's also a concern that could be being used as hostile reconnaissance.
Okay.
I'm not suggesting in these circumstances it is, but it could be, in which case you could be detained for the purposes of the search under the Terrorism Act.
But okay, so again, not really. I mean,
not doing that.
Yeah, it's not applicable.
Says you.
It's not though, is it? Because
Says you.
So the memo
Okay.
from the National
But
Police Chiefs Council.
Have I detained you for the purpose of
No,
a
you
search?
haven't. But
so again,
no.
So we're
okay,
talking
you keep
semantics.
talking. You're not letting me get a response to you at
we're
all.
talking semantics.
Yeah, because if you're going to bring something
I'm
up,
saying
at least
things
allow a
like,
retort
I'm
to
trying
it.
to say things that you might find yourself in a situation.
I found
You're
myself
not
in that situation. I've been to certain things,
So
and I'm
therefore,
suing you guys
we end
for
up
it.
going around with our full
Because it's
circle.
not a situation where it's applicable. Hostile reconnaissance, by its very nature, is covert. And that is from the National Police Chiefs Council in their memo circulated to every police station this time last year.
But that is not in every single circumstance, okay? Because quite frankly, the best way of being, well, I'm going to say invisible, is to be perfectly visible.
So, yeah, double bluffing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so and that's the best way. Make yourself obvious, and no one thinks you're doing anything wrong.
If I wanted to do hostile reconnaissance on here, I would probably get access to that building. I would get access to that building. You know what I mean? Exactly. So people wouldn't stand here doing it. They would, because you would never even see somebody doing it. You would never even see somebody doing it.
Was
I
necessarily
flying a drone.
referring to you flying a drone over this police station?
Yes. Well, you said over a police station.
Over a police station, yes.
But all police stations in London
I'm
have
trying to
other
explain
vantage
the
points that I've been to
circumstances
anyway.
that you may find yourself addressed or facing in a different situation.
Well, I'm sorry, but the National Police Council disagree with you on this.
That may well be the case, okay? But not every set of circumstances, not every memo that's sent out is applicable to every scenario. And every scenario will always have nuances and edges around, okay? Because not one size fits all. So you're here, you want to fly your drone. You carry on and you fly your drone.
Cool.
Okay? If that drone appears to be over 250 grams, or we can see it and we have a reason to think you might be committing an offence, then we will reassess and we'll have this conversation again a short while later. Okay?
Okay. There's not going to be any offences committed.
Well, that's fine. But I would
As
ask
I said,
you...
your colleagues can confirm it.
I would ask
250
you...
gram.
I would ask you, please not to fly it over the police station, because it does cause concern. However, I can't stop you.
Okay, just for future reference, if a drone is directly over your police station, the chances are the camera is not pointing at your police station, okay?
No, I understand that, because our helicopter goes there and it's filming about a mile away over there. I understand that.
So, like, not always, if you see a drone near or over your police station. When I started, I was actually filming this intersection, and yes, I did go over your police station. As I turned around, I got some shots, because I was turning around to get over there to get the footage. Yeah, I probably got some footage of your yard.
I absolutely understand that. And
sometimes I do fly over police stations to get footage of their cars.
People fly drones. Yeah. That's fine. Okay, they're allowed. I know there's been recent changes in the legislation to introduce this operator's ID. And is it flying ID you need as well?
Fly ID. Sorry,
ID and operator's ID.
The flyer ID is only if your drone is over 250.
Over 250.
Yes.
I understand that. It's all recent. It's all new. And I'm to be honest with you, I'm getting old. It's hard to keep up with a lot of the changes. All right. But I would ask you not to, but I can't stop you. Okay, and that's just a polite request.
Okay,
it's a polite conversation. All right.
Okay,
that's what it is.
So before we go, so obviously you heard me say about the body worn cameras. Please have a conversation with all three of your PCs about the severity of that, because it is something that we are quite hot on. Obviously, it is our right to know that you're holding data about us. You do have an obligation to let us know at the first most practical opportunity.
Well, you've already explained that to the officers sitting at the grandstand.
Okay. But yeah, like hearing it from me or whatever. But you need to make sure that all of your constables are aware of this, because it's not just yourself and your colleagues. It's 99% of the time when I interact with constables in London, and they never say anything.
Unfortunately for them, it's become second nature just turning it on.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to say it's right. I'm going to say it happens. Okay. And you're right. You should be made aware, because quite frankly, it is your right to know that information is being captured and recorded about you. Nothing we do is covert, which is where the camera flashes red and it's highlighted yellow.
A red flashing could be standby.
I appreciate that you know what that means,
but not everybody's going to know what a red flashing light.
I fully understand that, and that's something I'll take on board now, feed back in, and I'll get circulated across to everybody.
I appreciate that.
But again, equally, I would ask that you don't fly it over the police station. Okay. But it's a polite request.
Okay. And I'll ask that again. You train your PCs on how to interact, and when a member of the public asserts that they don't want to engage, they do their investigation without then further accosting. Okay,
Well,
unless
I don't know what happened because before I came up.
or you can review the body com footage, unless it's a situation where they genuinely believe an offence is being committed and they're about to detain or search. If a member of the public doesn't want to interact with you, we're under no obligation to do
Absolutely
so,
not.
and we don't deserve to be harassed once we told you no.
You're allowed to walk away.
Exactly, I'm allowed to walk away, but obviously I'm busy flying and flowing. I kept getting distracted and interrupted.
No one says you need to talk to us.
Yeah, but they say that, but then they keep asking, they keep badgering.
But there's nothing to stop the officer continuously speaking to you.
Well, it's kind of harassment, really, isn't it? Once you've been told you don't want to be spoken to.
It doesn't fall under the banner of Protection of Harassment Act.
Does it not? Why not?
Because it's not a continued course of conduct. It is them investigating the circumstances, and you declining to engage doesn't stop them investigating the circumstance. Okay, simple as that. It would fall under harassment if they did it to you every single day when you were here, and I came and had those same conversations, and we knew the circumstances. We'd walk along, the same as yesterday. Okay, no worries. See you later, Mr. Smith, and on we go. Okay. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, sure. I don't do handshakes.
You don't do handshakes?
No.
No worries at all.
No worries.
All right, you have a nice evening.
You too.
Take care.
So what I'm going to do now is get the drone back up and do a quick pass over, just to prove the point that I can, and then I think that wraps me up for the day, guys. Gonna head on home, but yeah, I'll be right back with you while I get this drone set up. 1759.
You leave it to him, you did something like that? Are you auditing or what's your plan for the drone?
I'm not here to answer any questions.
Well, there's certain offences around drones when you're in the flight path of the drone. There's a certain radius of it. So you just wait in here, I'll try and get something sorted. And then we'll work
I'm going to
out.
pack up and go.
Okay, well, I don't know what happens this week. Are you going to pack up and leave, are you?
Pardon?
Are you leaving, are you?
Well, that was my plan, yeah, unless
Okay.
you're going to stop me.
Well, we can find out. Often, the only thing that I would advise you is, obviously, because Heathrow's quite close to you.
I'm not in the flight restricted
There's,
zone, mate.
if you're not perfect, if you know about it, I can obviously get some
I wouldn't
down
fly
and
next
check.
to a police station and break the law, would I? That would be rather stupid.
Well, you never know, do you know what I mean? I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am. But that's what I'm speaking
That's
to
like
in
coming
regards
here
to.
and fucking smoking a bowl of crack right out front
Oh,
of the
you
gate,
just
innit?
can't,
Like,
right.
come on. Have a
Are
brain.
you just about to leave, are you? Is
Well.
it just a bit of auditing that you're doing? What is it?
Well, I'm not answering your questions. I told you
Okay,
that.
So I'll presume it is, because...
Well, no, that's because I'm a member of the public who has rights. That's why I'm not.
Yeah, but I'm not asking about that. I'm just asking in regards to what you're doing, the same way you asked from
Yeah, but the more questions I answer of yours, the more likely I am to incriminate myself, aren't I?
No, not really.
Yes, that's why.
No, if
That's
you're
why.
saying you're auditing, and you say you're not in your flight path and all the rest of it, I don't necessarily what the issue would be. I'm just
Okay,
speaking to you.
because I don't want to answer your questions.
Okay,
I'm going
that's
to make
fine.
that very clear,
Okay.
okay? And I'm just going to remain silent from now on, and
Okay.
I'm not going to answer questions. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, if you just wait 2 seconds, we're just going to speak with...
Again, I'll wait if you're detaining me.
yeah.
Are you detaining me? What? Which way? Are you detaining me at all? Because I need to know.
Ben.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one third and final time. Are you detaining me?
At the moment, we're just going to do some checks to find
Okay,
out.
but I need to
Obviously-
know, because if not, I'm not going to stick around.
Well, at this moment in time, I need to check if it is an offence
Okay.
in terms of where you are in
Okay.
order to detain you, as you understand.
Okay.
At this
Am I
moment-
being detained? That's all I need.
If you were to leave at this moment in time, I've got my body worn on, which obviously captures who you are. If I need to establish some details from you, I'm sure I'll be able to do. So if you
You're
would
not
like to-
answering my question. Am I detained? That's a yes or no question.
If you want to leave, you can leave. I think we're just going to figure out a few
Okay.
things, and obviously, if I need to speak to you,
Sorry, the Whiskey Alpha 1759. I'm not
Yeah,
sure what the camera
okay.
picked up. And your colleague?
I'll explain it. He
No,
can
his
speak
shoulder
to you.
number?
Yeah, you can speak to you when it comes
Well,
over.
he can't because I need to go, but I need to know who stopped and accosted me.
Well, I don't know what his details are.
You ride with him all day, you don't know his details.
No, we
I
change
don't
often
believe
every
that.
day.
So you've been riding with him and you don't know who he is.
We change every day. I know he's...
That's right, I'll just go find out myself. So I'm just getting your collar number. So Whiskey Alpha 1557.
You alright then?
Lovely. Cheers.
Yeah, all is well. We've spoken to our colleague who obviously knows a lot about drones in certain area, flight paths and stuff like that. This isn't covered in it. The only reason why we asked is obviously if it is, it would be an offence. But where you are now, it's not. Obviously, you know the issues about security of the buildings. We're obviously always conscious, which is why we come and speak to you to ascertain what your intentions are. If you're not willing to speak to me, I understand that. Obviously, we can write a report to say the information that we've received today, you're not willing to speak to us. We can always put a report on and we can establish any issues if we need to. All right? But
Have
we'll leave you to it.
have the MPS made like a order to remove the blue line flags? So I don't see it very often anymore. Or is that a personal choice?
Right,
Okay.
you're good to go.
So just before you go, I just need to ask you one thing. Have you recorded me at all today?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Is there any reason why you haven't notified me that you've recorded me?
So Sorry?
Is there any reason you haven't notified me that you've recorded me?
No, I've told you, same way you're recording me, I can record in public.
You
so-
can. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you
that's
can't. I'm
no,
just saying, is there any
there's-
reason you didn't notify me that you did? That you
No,
are?
there's no specific reasons you weren't willing to
Okay.
engage with me.
Yeah,
Therefore, I just thought if I place my body on and I speak to you, it shows that I've made intentions to try
Yeah,
and speak
and
to you.
I'm not.
there,
I
so-
completely agree with the
Lovely.
use of it. I do.
Yeah.
Okay. My issue is, why didn't you tell me? Because under your policies and procedures, you do have to. I've already spoken to your inspector today, and he's already confirmed that I am
Oh,
correct on that.
okay.
Okay. He's literally from that station, and I've told him that it is a salient point that he needs to speak to every single one of you about this issue. Because this is now you're the 4th and 5th constables that have come out
Oh,
and
is
not
that
and not
today, is it?
notified me from this station.
Okay.
So, you know, it is an issue. You've captured data about me, okay? And as an organisation, I have the right, as an organisation,
What
a government
organisation?
organisation, the police is a government organisation, okay?
Oh, okay, so-
All right. I have the right to access data that you hold about me. If you haven't told me that you're capturing this data,
If
I don't
you
know it's
wish
there to access.
Obviously, you're entitled. You can do
Okay.
a copy of the data protection form, and you can
Sure,
request
sure.
my body worn footage today if you wish.
How long
to.
is that last system for?
Well, probably be 30 days if I don't save it. However, I've not had any real interactions with you in terms of criminal
Oh, yeah.
investigations.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just explaining to your colleague, obviously, when
You
you
took that
approached,
body
yeah,
worn.
neither of you notified me that your body camera was turned on.
So-
You know, it's unless you're going hands-on in a situation and you're there to physically detain and arrest somebody off the bat, there's no reason that the first most practicable opportunity can't be on your approach of good afternoon, just to let you know you're being recorded, and then proceed with your questioning. I've already spoken to your inspector from this station about it. He agrees. He said it's not acceptable, and I have made him aware that it is happening, and to make sure that he speaks to all the PCs about it. Obviously, it's our data that you're handling. We need to know that you've got it, so we know that we can request it. If you don't tell us, then how am I meant to know?
So we're going to
All right.
carry on about our duty.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, no worries.
You take care of
Have a
yourself.
good evening.
Have you got your belongings? Did you
Pardon?
collect- Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
All right, so take care of yourself.
You too. Yeah. So yeah, literally just as the battery was dying on the drone anyway, and I was coming down, look at this cop car pull up. But to be honest, that is how it should be done to a degree. You know, they phoned the right person and checked, which is fine. What I didn't like about the interaction is the amount of times I had to ask that PC whether or not I was being detained. You know, that should be a very simple yes or no question. And it took him too long, really, to let me know. But yeah, beyond that, this has been Acton Town Police Station. My first experience of flying in the dark. It's actually quite a bit easier than flying in the light because you can see the guide light from the drone. So it's much easier to keep track of in the sky. You don't have any sun glaring in your eyes or anything like that. So yeah, it's actually quite good, a lot easier. So yeah, we're going to wrap up there, guys, and until the next one, stay safe, remember your rights, and as always, ta-ra!
You don't wanna fuck with me. I slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't